Okay, my friends, as you know, Tyson is doing a heck of a good job out here on the West Coast, and this is a membrane, and this is the upper layer, and this is the lower layer of a bilipid membrane. Look it up. Proteins and enzymes pass between this layer up here and this layer down there through this bilipid layer, through these protein channels. This is a foot thick or more, just the layer here, and between the two layers, I don't know, six feet or more. Now, let's see what it has to say in some of the ancient texts about this. Okay, my friends, I said I have a new attitude, and the reason is because Jesus said, I disclose my mysteries to those who are worthy of my mysteries. And I was disclosed all these mysteries in just absolute dropped on like a bomb. I was in despair after finding the giants and having them DNA tested and being rejected and rebuked by everybody. And from behind me, I was sitting here literally almost in tears. This is years afterwards. And I heard, look in Morocco from the TV set behind me. I looked in Morocco just at a lark. And there's a giant fish. And guess what? There's a giant dragon attacking the giant fish right there, spitting stuff out to try to kill it. And the giant dragon is running out and bleeding out in the desert, and there's all his goo is running out of him, the bodily fluids. These are his dragon scales. This is his throat. And it comes down here to what is also talked about in the Bible. God's great and mighty sword slashed his throat. Right there. I mean, that's where he bled out in the desert. I understand these things extremely well, my friends. That is not just an accident. And that is blood, and that's the black and the red blood, and this is the effluent of a decaying, gigantic creature. Now, like I said, I expected when I saw this, I said, well, I'm going to disclose this. And then there's no way they can hide. I sent this to NASA. I sent this to virtually every university. Not a single word has been spoken. That tells me all I need to know. Okay, that statement came from the Nag Hammadi texts. Now, the Nag Hammadi texts were found somewhere around 1948, just after the Holocaust. Right in that area, and the Dead Sea Scrolls. The whole thing changed everything about the history of Christianity. And this talks about the exact words spoken by Jesus when he was walking around alive in the flesh among humans. Secret sayings the living Jesus spoke, and Didymus Judas Thomas recorded. That's Doubting Thomas. He said, whoever discovers interpretation of these sayings will not taste death. That's what Jesus said. And Jesus also said, those who seek should not stop seeking until they find. When they find, they will be disturbed. When they are disturbed, they will marvel and will reign over all. And after they have reigned, they will rest. So, you have to search, and you have to seek, and you have to be thirsty, and you have to drink, and you have to be able to taste what you drink. You cannot slurp it down and not understand what you drink. This is critical. This is huge. There's a ton of statements. Whoever discovers interpretation of these things will not taste death. Now, I've dug into them deeply. And they support the fact that the earth is a creature, is a corpse. Well, let's go on and see. Here it is right here, number 56. Jesus said, whoever has come to know the world has discovered a carcass. And whoever has discovered a carcass, of that person, the world is not worthy. So you better start discovering carcasses. Now, number 80 fulfills the second half of this statement, which says, Jesus said, whoever has come to know the world has discovered the body. Whoever discovered the body of that one, the world is not worthy. And take that into consideration with that first statement. It says, I will only disclose my secrets to those who are willing to accept them. And academia and the people that teach you and the people that force you to serve them will not accept any reality. That's what I have found. It's very disturbing. There's some terrible, terrible statements about teachers. And it talks about here, if a blind person leads a blind person, both of them will fall into a hole. And that's what's happened. Jesus said the Pharisee and the scholars have taken the keys of knowledge and hidden them. They have not entered, nor have they allowed those who want to enter to do so. And then there's some really, really bad ones. Now, the reason I'm presenting this in this way today is that I discovered what I called mud fossils years ago, over 8 years ago. And I presented all this to Yale and Harvard and all the top universities. I tried to contact every professor that I could contact. And I believe they have no faith in them, in God. Not a single one was interested whatsoever, because it appears that it points to the facts that we are discussing right here about Jesus and about God and about our universe and about our earth and about the things that were written and never have been taken into consideration. So not a single thing, not one single word that is taught today in the colleges, in the universities, in the schools in general, has any basis in fact. None whatsoever. They don't understand our history. They don't understand our existence. They don't understand the geology. They don't understand space. They don't understand energy. They don't understand the atomic nucleus, because it's all based on the fact that we came from dead dust. Now all of this has been exposed, and they have turned their backs. This was written about as well. Okay, I know that's a crazy, bold statement, but we have new species, all kinds of new different species, things that aren't human as well, that were talked about in the past. I believe now, from our experiments, that light is nothing more than electrons, which are the smallest particles that exist. And when you smash them, they actually break in half, and the positive and the negative, because they are dipoles, break in half. And I can show that. It's called electron flood. There's the weak ones, the black ones. There's the explosive one, the fermion, which is the charged particle. These black ones are the charged particle carriers. Now they're claiming that might be dark energy. It doesn't matter. Whatever they have been talking about is wrong, virtually across the board. And I tried presenting all this to everybody. Not a single one will respond. This can easily be tested and checked. Not a one will respond. We have a goose. These are feathers in its head. I have giant human beings, DNA certified, CAT scanned, anatomists. We are living among a bunch of liars that are your teachers. They will not address reality. They have been spoken of, and they are in deep trouble. I just want to mention, you're the ones that are paying them, and I am too. Especially our tax dollars are going to all of these funded things that they refuse to engage in reality. Why would we pay them for this? I think you have to confront your professors. I'm confronting everybody, but nobody else is confronting anybody. They're just going along with it because you have to in order to make a living. I don't care about making a living. So, you know, if nobody steps up and talks, it just goes on like this forever. Walk around in circles. As long as they're getting paid, the circles will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And they will keep walking around more and more circles and more money thrown into the middle of that circle. No problem. We can walk in circles forever. Just keep paying. We'll give you that paper that says you can go get a job. Now, you know, I said I have a new attitude, and here's why. I mean, I know I have been rejected, denied, belittled, demeaned, and just pushed aside in every which way by mainstream science, but that is to be expected. The righteous hate what is false. I hate what is false because I am righteous. The wicked make themselves a stench and bring shame on themselves. That's academia because they don't care about truth. The time will come when men will not tolerate sound doctrine, but with itching ears they will gather around themselves teachers to suit their own desires. And that's what's happened. So they will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. Mainstream science men with titles proving false to their teachings. They have turned to myths. We have turned to what are really facts, and they have made them into myths because of their denial of truth.